Alright, hello. You can skip to the parts that you want to watch on the timeline below. I'm going to be talking about what you should craft for your double legendary, which slot, what stats, also what's looking like the best double legendary combinations in Mythic Plus, and then also what you should run in Raid now that we have double legendary. And then that'll be it. But yeah, thanks for watching. So to start the video off, you can craft your double legendary. I'd recommend it either on feet, ring, or neck. The reason for that is going to be that feet gives you the most intellect value and sim the highest for me, and ring is also a really good bet, and ring and neck have the same stat weights, so you can just use those. You can choose whichever one you like. For the actual stats, it's best to craft it crit haste if you plan to just main frost. But if you want to off-spec a little bit, I'd recommend crafting it haste first like I did here. And I'll show you how to sim these as well. And then to sim which one you want, you can get the simulation craft add-on right here. You can download it from WoW Up or something. It'll have a button on your minimap. You click it, you just Control C for copy, and then you're going to pull up your raid bots. This is the sim website. Paste it into Top Gear, and then here it's going to say Rune Cry for Legendaries. You hit 291. And you either do crit haste or haste first. You add them, and you can see it says Unity. This is the double legendary thing. So I do this if I wanted to sim what a Unity neck piece would be. It gave me this error sign because I don't have another option selected for my equipped Unity, which is feet. So if I do this, then it's all good. So yeah. So for Mythic Plus, I'm going to cover a few legendary combinations. The first one I'm just going to mention right away is Cold Front plus Necrolord. This is bad. Don't use it. It's just not really practical. The tanks kite all the time. They'll kite out of your frozen orbs. Like I've had 2 frozen orbs lined up, and then the tank's just kiting away and it's just useless, or the frozen orb when it comes out, it's sent in the direction you're facing, so it might just careen off into nowhere and disappear. It requires a lot more effort than Freezing Winds, and either no gain or less. You do less DPS. So I'd recommend just not really trying this out. But yeah, the next 2 ones are going to be ones that I actually recommend you use in keys after double legendary, and then the third one is going to be for people that plan to push high keys. So the first one's going to be the standard combination of Freezing Winds and Nightfae. You can't really go wrong with it. Its strengths are still the same. It has a good mixture of AoE and single target with strong priority damage, and just really good low target cleave. This is going to be your default build if you're unsure what to run. And then the second build I'm going to recommend is Slick Ice and Necrolord. This is a new build that's popped up. I've had people mention it to me in the past from PTR, like Valorant, who's another Mage YouTuber, and I've tried it in a few dungeons and it feels really good. I'd recommend you run it in like low target count dungeons, or try running it at least, because Freezing Winds is still good in these dungeons, but this might be better. Theater Pain, Miss, potentially Spires of Plaguefall. As I said, I'd highly recommend trying out. You would play Necrolord with either Marileth or Hymir, and then use Icy Propulsion, Ice Bite, and Gift of the Lich. The rotational changes are just don't use Blizzard and Deathborn, and only Blizzard outside of Deathborn on 3+ targets. And that includes just this clip of me doing a Tyrannical boss, which I probably should have shown some mobs, but I did a lot of damage on this boss, so I kind of want to show it. And one of the main benefits of this as well is, even though this is a Fortify plus 13, which is a relatively low key, I'm still able to get 2 Icy Veins out, and we didn't even kill so I was able to get 2 Icy Veins out, have 100% of time throughout this fight, and that's solely due to Slick Ice there. And then the last build I'm going to recommend is for people who might end up pushing high keys, where you would play Freezing Rain, and that's going to be Disciplinary Command plus Nightfae combination with Water Elemental. For this, you run Icy Propulsion, Shivering Core, and Unrelenting Cold. The whole reason to run Water Elemental is it's more AoE damage since you're running Bone Chilling instead of Lonely Winter, and you can shatter your Comet Storm while in a GCD, as your pet freeze is not in your GCD, which you'll see me do during this gameplay. Again, I'd only recommend this to people doing like a plus 18 or higher on Fort weeks, or a 20 or higher on Tyrannical weeks, in dungeons with huge AoE like Necrotic Wake or DOS. You can see in this footage, I'm actually not really doing that much damage. We only pulled like 5 mobs there at the start, and we have a Demote Warlock with 4 set and everything. So really, this is only good if you're pulling large amounts of AoE. And in this dungeon specifically, like in the one that I have recorded, I probably should have played Freezing Winds because the tank ended up not really pulling large enough that this build worked well. And then the last thing to mention is just going to be raid. If you have 2-set, run Slick Ice Necrolord in every raid fight. You can swap to Freezing Winds if you want for Lihivim or Anduin, but I generally recommend sticking with Slick Ice for most of the other fights. And then if you do not have 2-set, I would say stay Venthyr for single target until you do, because even with 2-set Necrolord, you're only gonna have like an 85 to 90% uptime on Slick Ice, or not Slick Ice, on Icy Veins, unless you get lucky. So if you don't have 2-set, that's gonna drop a lot, probably down to 70-60%, which is pretty bad. And there's likely going to be like a new meta emerging in the coming weeks and the coming days. I might, keep you all posted on that, probably by posting a video of me playing whatever the new meta thing is. But hopefully you've learned something from this video, and if you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments below.